Welcome to Live at 5:55 with Joseph. I hope you're planning for an awesome Thanksgiving with family and friends, and just we're doing something a little different this year, as we're doing an Italian theme with lasagna and artichokes and things like that. So I just hope that you're really excited and looking forward to this holiday. We all deserve to get into our blessings and our gratitude. And tonight the question I asked is, are you living in the now? We're so often we hear about the past, the present, and the future. And I've heard some really good things there, where the present is where the gift is of our life. And I understand that. But there's another level of vibration where we can get to in our life, and we can live there every day of our life. So when we live in the past, a lot of times that's in shame or pride, regrets, things we didn't like. Maybe we got some fond memories even and things like that. But the past is the time that's gone before us. And then the future, a lot of times when we look out into the future, when I'm talking to somebody who's living in anxiety or worry or fear, they're typically living somewhere out there. They don't have anything happening right here, right now in their life. It's that looking outwardly. And when we look outwardly like that, all we see is us. I can go really deep and do a talk just on that area, but the more we look out, if you notice you're getting anxious, worried, fearful, look and see where your thoughts are. They're typically going to be somewhere outside of today. And a little trick that I've learned to use in my life is live where my hands are. So if you ever feel like you're in anxiety, worry, fear, any of that, look at your hands. Are you living where your hands are? Is your thinking right here, right now? And then there's the present. A lot of times in our present life, there can be embarrassment, vanity, things like that. But even deeper than that, when we're living at the present moment of our life, we're living at the same vibration as our situations, our circumstances, and our conditions. You'll know if you're living in the present moment because you'll be living reactionary to the things that are popping up and going on in your life. When we're living in the present time, in the present moment of your life, we're living by the snapshots in time. We're living by what's in your bank account right now. What are you doing for work right now? What are you wearing right now? What are you driving right now? Where are you at right now? We're living at the facts. And when we get stuck in, so often people will get stuck in the present moment, and they get stuck in living by the facts around them, which brings up that need to be reactionary. So it's kind of like a whack-a-mole game where you feel like there's never enough time in the day, or you feel like you wake up exhausted and you're going through your day and you just can't, there's just not enough hours to do everything you're trying to do. So what I want to talk to you about today is a higher vibration than that to live at, which is the now. Living in the now in your life is living by the truths. And the truths amongst any of us, regardless of your spiritual beliefs, the truths are that we are breathed, that there is a power greater than us that breathes us. You don't have to focus on each breath that you take, and then the next one, and the next one. The fact, the truths of living in the now are that we are powerful creators in our life. That anything that we want to be or have or create in our life is available to us. We just need to shift our mindset to get into alignment with it. When we live in that now moment, is where we live at that higher vibration. We live above the facts that are happening around us in our situations and circumstances. And all of a sudden you find yourself responding to the things that pop up in your life. Life gets a whole lot easier, and it gets more fulfilling. When we live in that now, all we have to do to shift from from the past to the present, or from the future to the present, is a shift in our thinking, in our thoughts. And we always have control of our thoughts. And then to shift from that present moment to the now is get beyond your truths, or beyond your facts. I'm sorry, get behind your facts and get into your truths. The truths are that you are a powerful creator, regardless of your situations, regardless of your past, regardless of where you grew up, regardless of your college education, your bank account, regardless of all of that. You have the capacity within inside of you of creating whatever you want out of this life. And I'm telling you this, having gone through this firsthand in my life. If you've listened to the lives up until now, you know that I grew up struggling. I grew up watching my parents financially, struggle financially. And I saw how that played into their relationships. I saw how that played into their health and their well being. I saw all that played out. And even though I knew it was wrong, I carried a lot of those paradigms into my adulthood and struggled for years in my life. Today, I don't have to struggle. Today, I get to live by my truths. My truths are that there's a mighty creator in this world that breathes me, that there's a mighty creator that's bigger than any situation or circumstance I will ever face. And they're the same for you. A while back, I had gone to see my doctor and I was having sugar issues. And in that process, I have this insurance now that I've left corporate America and got my own that I pay hundreds of dollars a month for. And I walked out of that doctor's office with a diagnosis I didn't like. And I went to the front counter to make a new appointment and then found out that my insurance doesn't cover any of it. It didn't cover the office visit or anything. So now I had to pay that out. Now I got this diagnosis and then I got this insurance that I pay hundreds of dollars a month for that wouldn't cover any of the office visit or anything. From there, I go over to the pharmacy at Walgreens and pick up my prescription. And I find that my prescription is $487 a month. This insurance that I pay hundreds of dollars a month for covered $18 of that prescription. I walked out of that pharmacy God, I felt deflated. I was in my facts that were happening around me, and I got in my truck, and oh my God, I just wanted to break down. It was the first really big thing that happened like that since I left corporate America, and I'm questioning my decisions, and what the hell were you thinking? And I was going through all that, and then I got this diagnosis on top of it, and I didn't know what even that meant yet. And so I was going through, I had that rolling around, and just as I was doing this, and I was deep into it, my phone buzzed, and I looked at my phone, and I have 4 alarm clocks on my phone every day that go off at the same time, and it says, "Speak blessings into this moment." Now think about this. I go from the doctor's office with the diagnosis to find out the insurance doesn't cover anything to get the prescription to find out which is a new prescription, and I didn't know anything much about that at the time, and the insurance only covered $18 of the $487. And here I'm sitting and my phone says, "Speak blessings into this moment." I wanted to roll my window down and slam my phone on the ground. Right? You get that? You ever been there? But I know these tools work. And so I sat in my truck and I said, I guess I'm grateful I'm still alive. And I tossed my phone into the passenger seat, and I just sat there and I breathed on that a few times, and I just took some breaths into that, and I could feel that pain and the fear and the worry and all of that right there, the anger over this damn insurance. And I just went into it and I just said, "God, I know that there's a solution to every problem I ever have before I even know that there's a problem. And I know every solution comes to me easily, and it helps me to grow and expand, and it helps me to help other people." And I'm crying and I'm pouring into this thing, and I'm just going. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm telling you. And I just leaned into that thing. And what I did is I shifted from living by my facts that surrounding me to living in my truth, to living it from the present moment, where that fear, anxiety, worry, all that stuff is in there about what's going to happen to me and everything else, and maybe even some of the past, future. And I shifted that from living in those facts, living in the facts of the diagnosis, living in the fact of this insurance, living in the fact of the expense of this medication that I didn't even know anything about at the time, and from living at that level to realizing, like, I am always blessed, I am always taken care of, I am always protected, I always have more than what I ever need. That I can heal my body, I can be, do, have, give, create whatever I desire in this lifetime. I'll tell you, I drove away from that parking lot having had a spiritual awakening. Now, 2 days later, I'm in my office and the phone rings, and it's this guy from an insurance company. Had I not have gone through that in Walgreens parking lot, into that transformation in Walgreens parking lot, first off, I wouldn't have had a phone, so I wouldn't have been able to answer. But secondly, if I thought it was an insurance company, I'd either deleted it or I would have gave him a piece of my mind. But I got on the phone and I said, hello. And he said, I'm so and so from, so and so insurance. And I said, yes. How can I help you today? And I can't say I was overly kind. In the process, he said somebody from the doctor's office had called on my behalf, which I think is against the law to do. So somebody took a big risk in reaching out on my behalf here. He said, but I think I can help you. And he ended up getting me for, I think it was $107 a month, an insurance policy that covers all of my office visits at a $25 copay. It covers all of my any testing I have that's not a hospital stay at a $25 copay. And it covered 80% of my prescriptions. Now, that in itself is really cool. But again, had I have stayed in that place of living in the present moment with my facts that were surrounding me, I would not have been open and receptive to that gentleman's phone call. I already told you, I either wouldn't have had a phone if I smashed it on the ground, or I would have kicked him to voicemail and not listened and deleted it, or I would have just given him a piece of my mind on the phone. The guy wouldn't even want to help me then. But because when we make that shift, when we shift outside of our facts, those situations that pop up around us can pull us into that, to living that life at that level. The good news is we have the choice. We have the choice to make that shift into living by our truth. So as I say that, I want to share something else with you. I'm so excited about Jumpstart 2021. It's our IFGT team has been working diligently to pull together a campaign where no one is left behind. Let's face it, we've all had a 2020 that didn't really meet expectations, and was a disappointment to a lot of people in a lot of different ways. We're forming group right now to begin January. So it's after the holidays now that happens. But what we're doing is a very special bonus on that is we're going to do bi-weekly one-on-one coaching sessions between now and the time the group starts. So you can be getting that motivation, that inspiration, that support, and starting to bring about those shifts. So when 2021 hits, you're already launching and on your way. You can click that link I put in there. I put another one in the post. And you can click on that and schedule a brief conversation with me. Find out the details about it and whether or not it's for you. I'm telling you, if you're living in the present moment, if you're living by your facts that are surrounding you, man, it's going to be another tough year next year from the looks of it right now. To shift into living by your truth, to living in the now and experiencing that. Experiencing life getting a whole lot easier and more fulfilling for you in all areas of your life. This 5-minute conversation I'm giving my time to you for because I want to help millions of people. I want to inspire, motivate, and lead millions of people to living better lives. And if you want to make sure that 2021 is a kick-ass year for you in all areas, it'd be worth the 5-minute call for you. And if you don't, God bless you anyways. I hope you all have an awesome, blessed Thanksgiving here. I'm grateful for each and every one of you.